And Dina, what are you making for us today?
Well, Sarah, today we're making Frosty lime dessert bars. And you know, I love this recipe because it's like I'm splurging on a fancy dessert without all those calories that I don't need or want.
I know, sometimes it's like those desserts have all the calories I really should have in a day. So I'm so glad you're showing us something that we can eat and feel like we're, you know, treating ourselves a bit, but not sabotaging our health.
Yes. Well, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start on our crust.
Okay.
So what we've done, we've taken 8-gram crackers and we've just crushed them till they're a fine crumble.
Okay.
So we used a rolling pin, but if you don't have a rolling pin, that's okay. The other day I made it at home, I didn't have a rolling pin, so I used a plastic cup out of my cabinet, or you could use a can out of the pantry.
It's a great idea. Very practical.
Whatever you have. And you know, this would be a great opportunity to get the kids involved. Children like to help with making food. It gives interest. So, and if you want to combine the mess, you could use a plastic bag. They could put them in there and crush them in the bag. So.
You know, but I have teenagers, so they're going to make a mess, but I love the tip. I love the tip. That'd be very helpful.
All right. So we're just going to put our crumbs in the bowl, and we are going to add some cinnamon.
Okay.
And we have some artificial sweetener. Now, you could use any kind of artificial sweetener. You want to make sure it says it measures cup for cup like sugar, and that it's made for cooking.
Great, great. Because some of the stuff you're not supposed to cook with. It kind of tastes bitter, so.
Right.
Yeah.
Want to remember that. So we just add the dry ingredients, just kind of mix it together.
That looks great.
It does. All right. Now we just have a little bit of melted margarine. We're just going to add that. Here you go.
Okay. Well, this seems like kind of a few steps, but you know, you're going to have this done in no time.
It's very simple. So now we are going to transfer it to our baking dish. But before we do, I'm just going to spray it with a quick shot of nonstick spray.
Okay. Now that'll help with cleanup also. And Dina's all about being practical.
I am. I try. So if you wouldn't mind helping me pour this into the dish.
Sure.
Just going to pour it in there. Get it all out. There we go. And now, get your hands dirty. I'm just going to press it down into the bottom.
Well, what if you didn't have a cute little square dish like this?
If you didn't, you could use whatever you had, if different sizes would work. So, we've got our crust ready to go. And now we're going to put this aside and work on our flavoring. So, we have the rest of our artificial sweetener.
Okay.
And then we've added some lime juice. So, we just add those together, and you want to bring it to a boil and let it simmer for about 5 minutes or until it's reduced by half. So we have already done that, and now we are going to add it to our other ingredients.
Wow, we're getting close to being
fast.
done. Wow.
It's not like even like you're cooking.
No.
So we have some plain low-fat yogurt. That's going to be our base, so we're going to go ahead and pour this in.
Okay, we'll sneak in a little calcium in the dessert. It's like we're treating ourselves and treating our bones.
Yes. All right, and now we are going to pour our flavoring into the yogurt.
Okay, do you want a spatula?
Sure. All right.
Now when it reduces by half, it gets a little bit thick, right? But you'd probably want to do it when the consistency is not quite so thick to mix it in, right?
Right, you want where it's at a liquid state.
Okay.
All right, and now we are just going to fold in we have some non-fat whipped topping. So we're just going to fold in some of that.
I mean, you know, it's like there's hardly any calories in that whipped topping.
Yes.
That's great.
Great way to add a little sweetness too.
And fluff, volume.
Right,
it makes you feel like you're eating more.
Yes. Okay, so we're going to mix this together really well.
Okay.
Fold this in. And you know, it kind of, you don't know what to think with the lime dessert, but my husband tried this the other day, and he said, you know, this tastes like a tart cheesecake. So you wouldn't really expect it, but it does.
Ah, that's great. Well, did you tell him it was healthy for him, and he ate it anyway, or what?
He sure did. He tries for me, so.
Well, that's great.
All right. So now we've mixed our flavorings together.
Are we ready?
Yes, we are ready for our crust. So we're just going to pour this over.
Okay.
All right.
Now you could use a whisk or a spoon or a fork or, you know, we have all these dishes and, you know, you wouldn't have to dirty up all the dishes when you're cooking it. You could just, you know, measure it and pour it in right, but we kind of try to make it pretty for the show, right?
Right. So now we have it poured over our crust. I'm going to move this out of the way.
Sure.
And we've just put aside some of the graham cracker crumbs, and we're just going to sprinkle it on top.
A little decoration.
Yes, a little decoration.
Do eat with our eyes, don't we?
We do. All right. So now that we have that, we're just gonna cover this and let it freeze for about 4 hours or until it's firm. And then you wanna let it, when you bring it out, you wanna let it sit for about 10 minutes before you serve it.
Okay, so 10 minutes lets you kind of cut it into the serving sizes. And,
Yes.
you know, now, if you made this for me and I took it home and I ate the whole pan, would that be a good idea?
Well, you know, I'd really try and stick to the suggested serving size. It might be better for everyone.
Yeah, that's one of the things of, you know, some of the times that we just need to look at the amount of food we eat. This is a wonderful dessert. It gives you some calcium that's really good for your bones.
Yes.
And, you know, you can just eat this and not feel guilty and not feeling like you're sabotaging everything you've done.
Which is what I like.
That's great. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. Well, these have been in the freezer for about 4 hours.
Oh, I know. I tell you what, I watched you mix it up. I saw all the great ingredients, but I tell you what I really want to do is try it.
Me too.
Mmm.
Delicious.
These are wonderful. Your husband's right. This is like tangy cheesecake. And Dina, thank you so much for sharing this recipe with us.
Well, you're welcome.
Thanks, and this is mine, right?
I guess.